Service Committee?
Service Committee called to order at 6 p.m. Members present: Chris Moritz, Chair, Cody Scott, Terry Spiegel, Robert Taylor. First up is minutes for February 5th, 2026. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve and accept the minutes. Have everybody seen them?
Second.
Yep.
Mr. Taylor first. Cody Scott second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Dylan Wyatt, you're up next. Talk about stormwater fund adjustments.
All right, Dylan Wyatt, McKeever and Associates. So I've kind of hinted at it the last couple times I've been here as I've talked about this Sandusky Avenue project. The stormwater fund has been in place, stormwater fees have been in place since about 2003 at $4 per ERU. And then since 2003, there's never been any increase. So being a flat fund or flat fee fund, that just means that we're doing less and less work every year because we only have the same amount of dollars. So as a part of this Sandusky Avenue project, we worked with GLCAP and Rural Community Assistance Program to help fill out the loan application and submit the loan through WPCLF for this project. And their financial analysis that they have to do as a part of the loan application includes a pro forma going out 3 to 5 years. And as a part of this loan, they've made the recommendation and said that it could come down to the loan being contingent upon a rate increase in the stormwater fund, raising that fee from $4 to $6 basically now, and then a 60-cent raise next year. And then their recommendation, as is with all the funds, is to put it on an inflationary adjustment so that we don't go 23 years without making an adjustment to this fund, especially in a town that's largely combination sewer that we need to, we're working with Ohio and US EPA to separate sewers, and we're able to do less and less work. So they've made the recommendation in the loan application that those rate increases happen. It is not set in stone that OWDA will hold up a loan if a rate increase doesn't pass, but Cindy, who we're working with from RCAP, said it's very likely. She's seen it happen in the past. So I guess any discussion on that? I think that Chris had sent out, I had just made a chart a few weeks ago of if an inflationary adjustment had been placed on this fund at 3% or 2%, basically what we're saying the charges need to go up to currently are what they would already be at anyways. That's $6.60 by 2027. That would have been essentially a 2% inflationary adjustment since '03. So that's all I really have on that.
I have a couple questions.
Yeah.
So 2021, the department had a surplus of 566,000 plus. 2022, 446,000 plus. 2023, we came in with a negative of 412,000. What happened between 2022 and 2023?
That would have likely been the large spend of the Northwest, phase 1 of the Northwest Sewer Separation Project.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've
So that's
essentially those
$800,000 right there. That is a difference. Is the difference.
Yeah, that was that. I think that project was $875,000.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so the first couple of years in the early 2020s, we were doing relatively small stormwater projects. The phase 1 of the administrative order had ended at that point, and the city was basically negotiating phase 2 with US EPA.
Gotcha.
And we paused everything for a year or so, basically didn't do any projects for a year and a half, while we were hoping that negotiation would go quickly, and then it drug out and drug out. So we started doing projects again.
Gotcha. So we went a year and a half without doing anything. Where's the fund sit at right now, end of 2025?
That's a Kaylee question.
Okay.
Yeah.
And on the sheet, it's for the $4. Is that per customer? Is there a difference between
So-
residences and commercial buildings?
So that $4 for residential customers is a flat $4 fee per residential customer.
Okay,
And then for commercial customers, it is an ERU, an equivalent residential unit. So we
Gotcha.
take their total hard surface on their site, buildings, sidewalks, driveways, roads, whatever it may be, and divide it by 2,506 square feet. That is one ERU.
Okay.
And then it gets multiplied by $4.
gotcha. Thank you for
Yep.
clarifying that for me.
Yeah, and we have normally, like when Mike gets a set of plans, like for commercial development, part of that plan is they have to state how much hard surface is on their lot, and then they get adjusted as they do construction. And that is hard surface, because we've ran into this multiple times, is basically anything that's not grass is hard
Gotcha.
surface. So gravel is all of that, so.
If you'd like, I can go ahead and comment on how much is in there now. So in the stormwater fund, we started 2026 with $2,081,796.80. When we finished January 31st in cash, we had $2,104,174.27. Of that, $649,764.72 was on purchase orders. So if you take into account the save money on purchase orders, the balance in that account is $1,454,409.55.
And then keep in mind that $1 million of that is budgeted for the city's portion of the Sandusky Avenue project,
Gotcha.
of this stormwater project. So it looks,
So that's
it
earmarked.
looks large, but
Yeah.
that's in budget for
Gotcha.
that project.
I really have a comment more than I do a question right now. 23 years, no administration, that's over 2 decades, no administration caught this or did anything with it. As far as doing an increase to where we wouldn't be at where we're at now. How many times have we seen this the past 2 years and this year to where other administration has kicked the can down so far down the road? These guys are stuck with it, we're stuck with it. We're making some tough decisions that should have been made 2 decades ago.
Exactly, yeah.
It's not fair, it's not fair to any taxpayers out here at all.
Absolutely.
That's the reason for putting the automatic adjustment on there. Okay?
Right.
Which, the thing is 23 years ago, you didn't know what the inflation was gonna be like today. How could it go?
Well, I know I warned everybody in 2020 when they were passing out the COVID checks. So, and the government, the last administration was spending that money like it was candy too. So, I mean, everybody knew what was coming.
But, gotta be done.
Yeah, it's gotta be done.
Yeah,
We don't have a
have
choice for now, we're
I
stuck
agree.
with it.
I agree, we don't have a choice.
Unfortunately, we're stuck with it.
I think we need to,
You guys all got that to look at, recommended?
what's that? Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Can I get a motion to pass this to financing with the recommendations that are made?
So moved.
First by Taylor, second by Scott. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you.
I'll just stay up here for the next one too.
Okay.
Well, not so bad.
Arcadis,
Yeah,
with no why?
yeah, so.
All right, go ahead, talk about that one.
I wanted to provide, so watch the last meeting when Laura was up here and walked through what this proposal was, what this contract was, why we were doing it. And there were a bunch of questions that I hope to clear up tonight, with ultimately the goal that you all will pass this along to finance with a recommendation to approve this contract so we can get this process started. So we had been working with US EPA under this administrative order for sewer separation since, the mid-2000s. As we worked through phase 2 of that administrative order, which was the big wastewater plant project, we started having the discussion with Ohio EPA, who controls permitting of the plant, of how they would like to permit the plant with the traditional discharge as well as the high rate treatment, the stormwater discharge. And Ohio EPA immediately started throwing up red flags of they weren't sure that they disagreed with the path that we were going down, but they didn't really have enough information, and they didn't necessarily agree with how our administrative order was being administered. So our entire goal, phase 2 of the administrative order, was to remove 50% of the CSO volume from the Sandusky River. The plant project, as well as the Northwest Sewer Separation Project, which has already been completed, were our way to remove that 50%. And that would have met the phase 2 goal of the administrative order, but beyond that, there was no future phase 3, 4. We all knew that 50% reduction didn't meet the Clean Water Act. There was no way they were going to stop after that. But we asked and asked and asked US EPA of what phase 3 looked like and how we were going to have to proceed to make sure we weren't making bad decisions today that would hurt us later. And we never really got clarity until Ohio stepped in, and they started their discussion with asking us questions about why we were doing what we were doing, and that ultimately led to them reaching out to US EPA and requesting to take over the administration of this administrative order and ultimately the long-term control plan that Arcadis is proposing to put together here. And they gave the city the option of if we wanted to do that, but it was you can either do this now under, on your own, or when we renew your MPDS permit, we're going to probably make you do this anyways. And they can do that, and then we would be serving two masters here, the US and Ohio, which have differing opinions of how this thing should be administered. So phase 1, the first step in order to make that transition, how that transition would ultimately happen is that Ohio EPA would issue either a draft or a final set of director's final findings and orders. And in those findings and orders, the requirement is that the city has the schedule laid out in this document by I think February of 2028 to complete a long-term control plan that would eventually go into place once the findings and orders are issued. US EPA relinquishes their control, Ohio takes over. We go through the 2-year process of this long-term control plan development, and everybody negotiates it. It goes back and forth between city and Ohio EPA until ultimately everybody agrees on what path we're moving forward with. This long-term control plan is literally what it sounds like. It could be a 15, 20, 30-year plan to meet the goals as set forth in the Clean Water Act. So I guess I will see if anybody has any questions based on that.
So,
We've already been through one, so should know what we have to do.
Yeah. So this process was started back in the early 2000s. Arcadis actually started to develop a long-term control plan, and US EPA reached out and said, "No, we don't. We're not going to need that. We'll just run this as the phased approach," as they've called it, the administrative order. And kind of now we're going back and doing it again. And honestly, a lot of this is. So we have the flow monitoring, which is really our time-sensitive, critical thing. We need to have flow monitors in the ground in March, or else we miss a year. And since that time in 2010, 2011, the city has learned an immense amount about the sewer system. I mean, just since we took over in 2020, the city now has their GIS system versus operating off of the 1968 sewer maps. And And, I mean, we laugh, but that was the whole thing. That's all we had. And so we know a lot more about the system. So a big part of this proposal is the model calibration, the flow metering, and confirming that the numbers that we're working with are the actual numbers. So we're not making, again, we don't want to make misinformed decisions.
Right. So on the sheet here, one says that we're behind by 35% just by the kicking the can down the road. Are we talking about the same thing still?
Which
No, it's
stormwater?
Arcadis, no.
No, we're on
talking about
Arcadis.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a contract.
I stand
Yeah, this is the
It's
Arcadis
just,
one.
it's just to
Yeah,
enter into the contract,
Okay.
so we can get the flow meter started,
Yeah.
so you don't miss a year.
And then, I guess Kaylee can talk about it during finance. They did split this out. Obviously, this is a huge contract. A big portion of the first year of money is already budgeted and/or in POs. But I guess, do you guys have any other questions of?
Anybody else? Terry, you got any comments on that? That was your field there for a
Well,
long,
yeah, I
long
do,
time.
because we're talking
It has to be
about,
done.
you're talking about this contract right here, right? The $240,000 per year for 30 years? Is that the same thing we're talking about?
No, that was the loan for the, that was the loan for the Sandusky Avenue project.
Yeah.
So that was the stormwater fees, raising those.
Okay.
From
So that has
$4.
nothing to do with the sewer system, and the stormwater fees are totally different.
Correct, yeah, those are two completely
boy.
different things, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That-
No comment. It has to be done, so.
Yeah, I understand. I didn't realize I thought they were tied in together.
No.
Yeah, they're just two separate projects.
Yeah.
Yes, they're kind of tied in
Right.
together. We are,
Yeah.
actually, today, I just sent a whole big email to David Brumbaugh at EPA of all of the projects. Basically, they're using, we've continued to do separation projects, obviously, that were outside of the phase one and the in negotiation part of phase two. So they're using that to kind of help give us some grace here, because they think that our schedule's a little bit long on this, but they're hoping that the higher ups, even above them, will show some grace, given that the city's still spent, $3 or $4 million in the last 3 or 4 years, while we've been just waiting for the back and forth between US and Ohio EPA.
Well, if Ohio or if US EPA would have approved our long-term control, we'd be that far ahead of them if they approved it back in 2015 or something.
Yeah, and maybe we'd be making the same decisions as we are today, but, we just don't know right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think we have to go with it.
All right. This time I'm going to ask for a motion to pass this on to finance to enter into contract with Arcadis.
So
I'll
moved.
make that motion.
I'll second.
First by Terry, second by Scott.
And
All
wait,
in
is
favor?
the sponsoring committee service?
Yes.
Yeah, it's finance gotta do it.
Finance has got to actually do the contract
Okay.
because it involves money.
Should you pass a contingent on finances approval? I would think.
I think it should be requested as service though.
But we gotta have finance to get money on it.
That's
Finance
true.
gotta approve the money.
Kevin wanted it as.
Then they can come back to us.
Okay,
They can come back to us after that.
that works.
Yes,
was the
and
second
and I
one?
would ask that you approve this as an
Fine, let's do it.
emergency.
Yeah, Terry and,
As an emergency,
Cody.
well, that'll go with
Terry's
council.
second or first?
Yeah.
Terry's
Okay.
first.
Yeah,
First, your second?
Doesn't matter to me, whatever
I'll
you
let
think.
Cody second it.
Cody second on that?
It doesn't really matter.
Once finance, we can move that on to.
Okay.
as an
Right.
emergency.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dylan.
Next is future plans for solid waste.
Good afternoon, evening. So the city and the city administration and the service garage foreman has been looking into a single man trash truck, dump truck, or trash truck. It looks like this. It has an arm on it and going to a can system, which I did not print up the can system off, to where everyone will get a can, and we'll just have one bin in there, which will be a reduction of 2 personnel in that department. So, we are asking if we could get a $1 increase in the garbage rate. The current is $66,088 a month, and with a $1 increase, it's $81,212 a month. And the total year increase is $181,488 with a personnel reduction is plus $157,287.32, which is, the total would be $338,775.32. The truck payment itself for over a 5-year payment on this sheet here is $251,293.87 a year, and which would be a city carryover of $87,535.45 a year. But the thing of it is, the budget last year for the solid waste lost $41,296.41. So the total carryover would be $46,239.04. And then down below, I have the rates, the current rates of everything for singles, or for seniors and residentials, and for commercial accounts. And increase for the residential will be $20. Increase for seniors will be $14, and increase for commercials will be $26.50. I did put the dumpsters on there, but I do not have, I don't know what you guys want to do with those.
But why are we giving people breaks for high volume dumping? Because that's essentially what it amounts to. The more they dump, the less they pay each time, correct? Is that kind of where we're going with that?
Well,
dumpsters.
yeah. On the dumpsters, it's one, okay, we'll just do one column, is that okay?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
One column, 3-yard dumpsters, $65.50 a month. For each additional dump, it's only $15.62. For a 2 dump per week, 1 month is $131, which is double the first month. So I don't know, but if they have 3 that week, it's only an extra $15. Or,
That's gonna be changed, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, what's it cost to have a guy go out, pick up the dumpster and go dump one dumpster? I mean, whatever that, if we can figure out what that costs, that every single time you do that should cost at least that. So whatever, however we come up with that number.
yeah, I didn't change those numbers because I don't know where we want to go with that.
I understand, I mean, it makes sense to me that you wouldn't be giving people a rate for dumping higher volume into our landfill.
And residential dumps are the same way. It's a one-time set fee, and then it's a $15.62 dump. Whether they take it that time or leave it there, because it's another $15.62 if they dump it again for residential.
That still needs to change, it's just.
And alls I used was the 3-yard numbers. I didn't go on, so.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just a math problem we need to figure out and get to a single service price. And that's what it is every time. You need 3, well, we're gonna charge 3 times for that particular yard of dumpster. And if a 6-yard costs twice as much, well, you need it 3 times, that's how much we're gonna charge each time.
I don't think the commercials are out of line
Okay?
themselves. The extra dump might be a little light.
Right. That's what I'm saying, I mean, we're giving them an extra dump for a lower price, that doesn't make
Yeah.
sense to me.
How many commercial accounts do we have currently active with them?
I don't have that number.
You got a guess?
I wish I did. Yeah, I don't have that number. I can get it. We can get that number and give it, I'll send it out. I can get you the dumpster commercials and I can get you the regular pickup commercials. There's two different kinds there.
Right.
Because they're assuming what the content is different.
Well, no, uptown, they don't put dumpsters uptown. So they're all commercial pickups, which is the
I gotcha.
which is currently the $24.50.
Okay.
But, you know, like, I'm just gonna use the VFW, we don't
Yeah.
need, that's a commercial that's got a dumpster,
Gotcha.
so.
Legion.
And, well, the Legion's another one that does not have a dumpster, they put all their trash outside,
Yeah.
one time a day, and that's a
I understand
commercial
what you're
account.
saying now,
That's
okay.
the $24.50 currently.
Gotcha. What's the bag limit for them?
Well, I don't know, they got a bunch. I don't know what the bag limit, I can find that out too when I send that out.
As residential customers, what's our bag limit?
Six per
So
week.
20
6 bags.
24 a month.
Yep.
For, what, $18, $16?
Currently, it's 18.
Right.
With the passing of the 900s, it goes to 19.
So, yeah, I mean, is that commercial out of balance compared to what we're charging residences? I mean, how many bags of trash are they throwing out a week?
I can find that out before the next meeting, but I want to get
I mean,
this.
that's a good number to.
Yeah, because we're paying $5 extra a bag, anything over 6.
Yeah, exactly.
Which-
If they're allowed to have 100 bucks or 100 bags, I'm throwing
Right,
stupid
yeah,
numbers.
honestly, that's.
If they're allowed to throw 100 bags out a week and we're only allowed to throw 6 out,
Right.
is that truly fair? I can
Right.
find that number out too.
But as far as trash rates go here in Bucyrus, they're not that high. I mean, if you think $18 for 24 bags of trash, that's fairly inexpensive, and it probably does need to be raised, especially if the fund is running in a deficit, and it is, right, $40,000?
Yeah, 41,000.
Yeah, that makes sense in the math anyway.
Yeah, because that could actually get some of our costs back from the $41,226.
On the container,
That we lost.
how big is the container?
It's a 90 gallon.
90 gallon,
Yeah.
so it'll hold quite a bit.
On your chart here, when purchase payment of a truck, that's the down payment toward a new truck.
Yep. Let me look. Make sure.
Yeah, I can't, my eyes are bad, I can't even read that.
That screen's so small on these things now, compared to what they used to be.
The down payment and trade-in is 200,000.
Okay.
That's for 2 trucks. This is a process of buying 2 trucks and all the containers for the whole
So
town.
why don't you explain to the public everything that comes with that and all the other, because obviously it's a truck that's gonna pick the trash can up for itself, so the city has to offer
Yeah, we will,
services and.
we will provide the can, or the city will provide the can. The can will stay with the house. If you're a renter or move out somewhere else, the can is still property of the cities. And then you'll have to take it out once a week to the curb and we'll dump it. The 90 gallon, if you want to buy your own can, we will have those for an extra fee, and that's something else we have to work through. We haven't got there yet.
I understand.
So if you want 2 90 gallon cans, you dump them one time out of the 4 dumps a month. We'll have to figure out what that price is.
Right.
The extra can, that is.
Right.
Not the original one, but the extra can. So it's just there's still a lot of work to do on this, but I wanted to get it started in this process, because if we don't have the finances in order, we're not going anywhere with it.
When you're looking to start doing that, if we pass that, when you're looking next year, next year,
Hopefully by the middle of this year,
middle of this year?
we'll buy the trucks. And then the extra, we do have one of the older trucks we're gonna put on Gov Deals and sell that through Gov Deals.
And we're keeping one for a backup, correct?
We're actually gonna keep 2 right
Okay.
for the first part of the time, just to make sure that that's what we wanna do, but, and then we'll work on selling the second one.
So
I'm gonna say a year.
So you mentioned personnel reduction and a savings of $157,000.
Yes, sir.
Is that contingent on buying 1 truck, 2 trucks?
That is the 2 trucks.
Okay.
That's,
And how soon would that take place if we were to buy 2 trucks? How soon do you get rid of 1 guy?
as soon as we get it trained, the other person trained to make sure we have our right routes. That's gonna be a minute. I'm not even gonna lie about that.
That's understandable.
Yeah, as soon as we have our right routes and the person on the truck's trained and fast enough to make it through town.
Is this new truck also capable of picking up dumpsters, or is that why you have to keep the other?
That's why we have to keep the old ones, because of
Gotcha.
the dumpsters.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have to pass this on the finance also.
On the finance also.
I make a motion, we pass this on the finance.
Well, there's one more thing I want to talk about on this.
He is.
Yeah.
One more thing I want to bring up on this, which Tommy didn't touch on, was don't have 2 guys hanging off the back of a truck.
Yes,
Correct.
it's a big
I
safety
mean,
thing.
it's a big savings right there. Nobody's gonna twist their ankle, jumping off, or knee or something else, jumping off the back of these trucks.
Out there at zero.
That's a big plus
Yes.
for their insurance down the road.
Yeah, and also, he mentioned they're 90-gallon cans. They're pretty big, and they are fairly heavy and durable. So anybody that's not physically able to move their can out to the road, the city will have someone move your can down there for you. And that's something that will be coordinated with the administration and the department itself, so. Am I'm correct in saying that, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah.
we'll work through that.
and one of the big things is too, it's gonna have a lid on it, so our moisture content should go down. We noticed this past summer, fall, when it didn't rain so much, we did actually notice a difference and less wet, as well as each one of these containers are going to be microchipped. So when they are assigned to the resident, we know exactly who owns what or who's using the can, so.
All right.
Hopefully with these new cans that it eliminates like water and
That's
mud
what
and
he's saying.
everything. That also raises the tonnage up. Take that out to the landfill and it charges the city even more.
Sure does.
Yep, okay, I made a motion.
I want to entertain a motion to move this to finance.
I did.
Future plans for the solid waste.
Already did.
Terry made it first.
Yep.
I got second.
I'll second.
Scott seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
I will get you guys the other
I think you're up
numbers.
on that one, aren't you? What's that?
I said I will get you guys the numbers.
Oh, yeah, please, please.
And I'll just send them out.
Do
I'll send them.
you need that as an emergency or just a?
I wouldn't think so.
I don't think so. I think we're gonna talk about it again.
Yeah. We did get a letter. Bruce, you want to talk about this today?
Yeah, I just wanted to let everybody know that, we as a city accepted the different sewer plants that used to be run by the county. Problem is that out there in Sugar Grove, we have residents out there that aren't paying their bills, and so Jeff Dunn reached out, and so then we went ahead and I set up a meeting with the county health department. We pleaded our case with the county health department, and they said, well, we can't help you. So I went to the county commissioners. We had the same people in the meeting. Second time around, I went to county commissioners, and they said, sorry, can't help you. So I went ahead and thought, well, I'll just call the Ohio EPA. So that's what I did. Got a hold of the Ohio EPA. They came in. They said, well, it is a health department issue. I'm going to take care of it. So I just want everybody to know that trying to get a handle on it. So One letter is from the health department to the resident stating that instead of paying the bill and reconnecting to the city sewer system that's out there, the health department now has made the decision that they don't necessarily have to hook back up to the city sewer system. They can just continue to use collections of their own and either take it to the city of Bucyrus, bring it into the city of Bucyrus and dump it, or take it to Crestline. There's a facility there that they can take it to. And so, yeah, that's defeating the purpose. The purpose is the city sewer system is out there. They need to be hooked up to it. And so I went ahead and wrote another letter to the health department, and I gave it to them here the other day. And so in the meantime, I also went ahead and contacted Ohio EPA again. And so Ohio EPA got back with us just about 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
And so they said that they would like to have a meeting with us as a city as well as the health department. So I appreciate the Ohio EPA.
The history on that plant was that the state made the county put that in out there at Sugar Grove, because all their sewage is dumped right into that creek. And when we took them over, I think whenever we did that, there was not enough flow in that to go to make that thing work. And that's been the problem ever since we took it over. There's not enough flow in. And more people are moving out of that area. So if you've ever been back there, it's all just trailers. It's just a junk pile. Most of them are now. It's all, yeah, it's a mess. So she never took out, personally.
I think we've all been out there and seen it too.
Yep.
All of the little plants,
Yeah.
systems.
Okay.
Thanks, Bruce. Open projects, anybody want to talk about?
No.
Seeing none, city participation?
Greg White, 1125 Hillcrest Drive. I understand we have to do all these projects and stuff like that, but basically in the bottom line, what's this going to cost the taxpayer every year on their sewer rates, on their trash rates, on their water rates?
It adds up.
Okay, it's going to be adding up. And look at our aging population in this town on fixed incomes. Okay, I know some people on council don't care, but
Hold on, Greg.
I said some people.
Hold on, though. Why are you even talking like that? Obviously, people up here care. We wouldn't be sitting here.
Well, I understand, but I'm just saying, I've heard
We're
some
not
people.
here for those types of opinions.
I understand.
Let's keep it to the business.
Okay, so let's come up with a plan to tell the taxpayers what this is going to cost us.
Well, that's what he just did.
Well, I know, but what I'm saying is, remember, this sewer agreement is done this year. What are you going to tax us on the new plant in 2027, 2028, 2029, 2030? What are you going to start, what's the percentage increase that's going to be on that? Because you got to remember, that ordinance runs out December 31st of this year.
Well, I would think it would probably flow somewhere in line with what inflation does.
So
It's
that's what I'm
pretty
saying.
typical, right? I mean, nobody knows
But the
what
only thing
that
is,
hard
with-
number is.
I understand that, inflation. But you got to remember, some of these people are on fixed incomes.
Well, I understand that. That's society, Greg. What are we supposed to do? Not follow along with what the EPA's telling us?
If we don't, then the EPA will come in and take.
You want
I
the-
understand
you want
that.
the federal
I'm just
government
saying,
to come in here and
it would be
dictate it to you?
nice if the taxpayers knew what is going to be expected of them
Well,
down
we
the
know, I
line.
guess they'll know.
Yep.
Okay,
As soon as
thank you.
Arcadius does their study, we'll let them know.
Any more citizen participation?
Clarissa,
Hey, did you sneak in?
yeah, I did. It's not good. Clarissa Slater, 3645 State Route 4. I'm going home after this. I just wanted to come up and thank you guys for actually taking the time to explain it. And I know it's like you know what you know when you know it. You don't know everything. Nobody does. That's why these conversations are great. Thank you for taking the time. I would just ask that you guys look into the out-of-town surcharge for both sewer and water. I know that may seem, again, unfair to some people, but if someone's not paying their property taxes to the city, that is a loss of income and a free service given to somebody who's not in city limits. I do know that before it was like 400% for sewer. Am I wrong? But the stuff that you guys gave me before, it was like 400% was the markup?
1.5%.
I thought it was 2%.
No, I'm sorry, for out of town. For out of
2%.
It's only 2% more for somebody who's out of town. Do you guys know what like the average is?
Doubled. It's doubled.
So it's 200%. You guys are paying because there's some
Well, it's
municipalities.
100%.
100% more. So it's
Correct.
200% of what the, okay,
it's
for
2 times.
sewer. For
Water,
water,
I
it's
don't know.
nothing, right? Have we considered even just like a flat rate? Like,
Well, the problem is, at this point, these people are already in contract, like Nevada. We can't just raise rates right now.
right, so what I'm saying is that if you're a user, a single user
Mm-hmm.
outside of town, so you're residential, the only contract we have is Nevada.
Right, yeah, I'm not sure, how does it work with the individual residents? Are they under contract for a rate?
They package by, I already called Cindy, and I got the contract from her, and then him and I have actually reviewed it.
Yeah.
They, in it, what it states is that they receive the in-town rate.
Gotcha.
So if they have a package rate with us, that wouldn't affect us charging any other user of like a 5, 10, I don't know what would be to help, but I just think about the amount of travel, right? We're talking Sugar Grove, we're talking out, what's the towns out there? North Robinson and,
Sugar Grove has no water.
right, but they just have sewer, right?
Yeah. but
Okay.
They set their own rates for that, but it was,
So,
has nothing to do with the city's rates.
okay, but the one with North Robinson and not Yellow Springs, Sulphur Springs, they are both under,
All water.
right. So if if they're paying the exact same rate, anytime there's a breakout on that line, you're sending people, guys out of town. I understand if you don't want to charge them 150%, like 150%. I get if you don't want to pay them 200, but can we please open up the discussion to charging some sort of service fee for out of town? That way it's not blowing their fees out of the water, so they're not paying exponentially expensive rates. But Nevada's even paying more expensive than us because they buy our water packaged.
Yeah, they
Then
buy
they're
volume.
upcharging because they're servicing their own. So they're, like, once they receive it, it's done.
Tommy, we charge the county for that, what goes out that way, they pay us a lump sum on that?
Not anymore.
Not
anymore.
all
Individuals.
Yeah, we took it over now.
So I know that like there used to be something, I don't know if it was 125% or 150%, but whatever it was, that kind of went away with the Nevada contract. But we have more than just Nevada now. So that's why I'm asking if we're not in city limits, if they're not paying city property taxes to help maintain that, maybe that's something we can look at to be
Everybody in the county
unfair.
that pays property tax, we see some of that money. The county gives us, what, $600,000 a year from property taxes? Is that correct? Something like that? Yeah, so we see property taxes from all over the county, but that's a later discussion that I plan
But we see
on
we see it more lion's share out of our residents. Like they pay to other things, like the city, Bucyrus City Schools, or when, the different districts, I understand that, but like we see more, right? We would see more out of our own resident properties? Right, that's all I'm saying, is that there has to be something done, because I think, I get it that the knee-jerk reaction is, we have to raise rates. It's like, okay, but why? Why is the flat rates the thing? And then Tommy's gonna kick me, I'm sure, because he's heard me say this a million times, but I know that like changing the tiers is messing stuff up. If it's a situation where like residents versus commercial, because everything's billed the same, right? It's the cubic feet usage, and like 100 units is 1 metered usage, right? Am I correct?
I don't have that chart up and to find it on this computer.
Yeah, it's like 100 cubic feet is 1 unit of usage. Most residents are between 1 and 2. Then the tiers go up from there. The problem is that we have 4 or 5 tiers of payments.
5 tiers.
We have 5 tiers of payments for water, and with each tier, unlike most places, the cost goes down. So if you're looking at the factories, I think actually one of the biggest users we have is Unger Park, which surprised me, whatever Heartland used to be. The more you use, it actually incentivizes, the less you pay. So incentivized payment,
per
so
unit.
even if there's a way that we could eliminate a tier,
Yeah, that's the same thing I mentioned with the trash, then why are we giving breaks for volume?
Right, I think that's just.
It costs what it costs, so that's
Right.
what we should be charging, I
And-
agree.
And just to.
Losing anything, it leaves nothing.
No.
Right, and just for,
absolutely
to clarify on the garbage, were you saying that they have dumpsters that they're having unloaded weekly for $15? Or what are they having unloaded?
No, so they have a set fee of, let me pull that chart back up, so I don't.
Sorry.
No, you're
I was
fine.
listening, I was trying to pay
I'm gonna
attention.
use the 3-yard dumpster.
Okay, 3-yard
For
dumpster.
commercial use is $65.50 a month, what they get charged, which is 3-yard dumpsters only about.
Yeah, it's not that big, but
It's
if
not
I would
that
go to
big.
rent one, dude, I'm paying like $250.
Well, a 6 yards only, which is a fairly decent size, is $131.
So you're having somebody run truck to pick those up and it's only 15, so it's 65 or
No,
whatever?
no, that, they get with that, they get whatever, every week they get a pickup.
Okay, so
If
for,
they want
Wow.
2 on 1 week, they get it's an extra, well, I'm gonna use the 3-yard dumpsters, because
Yeah.
that's the numbers we use. It's an extra $15.
wow. And a wage, and a dump, like an
One
AFSCME
dumpster.
employee, they're making $30 an hour. So if it takes them 2 hours, that's $60, you're already burning through that.
I would hope it wouldn't take them that long.
An hour to pick up a dumpster and drop it back off?
No, they just dump it and go.
Oh, so they pick it up, dump it, and go. But if that fills up their, how much is their like how many dumps can they get per, do you know?
What are they, 24 cubic foot?
Yeah,
Does that sound right, Dylan?
20 yards, 24 yards.
24 yards?
24 yards? Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember. the
So,
truck's sizes.
If they're doing that weekly, and let's say you have 6, that, I don't think that's gonna I mean, it's still probably not gonna cover, I don't think it would cover, I wouldn't know how long it takes, but I would just,
Real quick.
something to
It's
think
about
about, yeah.
It's about 3 minutes.
Yeah, I mean,
think the
that's
big
only like, what,
concern-
3 things? You get
But-
those 3 things done, then you're gonna be solvent. We'll never have to have this conversation again.
Well, if we can solve these 3 things, we'll be doing way better than I think.
All right, well, thank you. Have a good night, guys.
Any more citizen participation? Seeing none, adjourn the meeting at 6:47.
Economic Development?
I am calling Economic Development Committee to order at 6:49 PM. Members present, Jim Mee, Ray Thidoff, Terry Spiegel, and myself, Allison LeClaire, Chair. I'd like to start with entertaining a motion to approve the February 5th, 2026 minutes.
So,
Got a first by Jim and a second by Ray. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay. All right, so I want to have Randy Fischer come up and speak first, and then I'll have you, Becky, after that. Is that all right with you? Okay.
Mr. Mee?
It's gonna be nice, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I have to introduce myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, Randy Fischer. I live at 855 Cherry Lane. I serve as president of Norton Bicentennial Inc., the group that's building the park on the north side of town, otherwise known as Norton Park. And I served I served on the Tourism Advisory Council of the TAC in 2024 during Elaine Naples' tenure as a consultant for the Bucyrus Area Chamber of Commerce. Elaine and I were also volunteers on the Bucyrus Bicentennial Commission, so I've worked alongside her in various capacities for over 6 years, which I believe qualifies me to attest to her character and professionalism. I'm here tonight to clarify some erroneous statements made at this committee meeting 2 weeks ago regarding Elaine while she was a paid consultant. The first clarification is that her actual tourism consultant contract was with the Bucyrus Area Chamber of Commerce, not the Travel Advisory Council. It was executed in December of 2023. Second, it was stated that Ms. Naples earned $46,000 as a consultant during 2024. Her Ohio 1099 shows that she made an income of $41,666.70, plus reimbursable expenses of $2,105.60 for a total of $43,705.60. She's also been accused of being a member of the Travel Advisory Council when her consultant's contract was executed. This is false. Again, her contract was with the BACC, not the TAC. Ms. Naples has never been a member of the BACC, and it wasn't until her contract expired that she was invited to join the Travel Advisory Council. It was stated that Ms. Naples donated her consultant earnings to Norton Bicentennial Inc., Norton Park. This is false. As president of the Norton Bicentennial Inc., I can assure you this is not true. I want to say, though, that this statement, I believe, was not made with malicious intent. Most all these other accusations that I'm going to try to hopefully clarify were. This was not. It was a mistake, and that's it on that. In 2024, Norton Park's income was $49,051.83. $35,000 of that were distributions from the state of Ohio from our capital bill grant. This has all been confirmed by our accountant, Ms. Miller, through our tax filings. Lastly, it has been inaccurately stated that the Bucyrus Area Chamber of Commerce paid Elaine $46,000 to produce a website. That is also false. Website development was contracted for separately with a local professional with the phase 1 of the website completed in 2024 for $1,950. Through all this, I find it interesting that no one has asked the question, what did she accomplish for tourism? If they did, the answer would come back much more than expected. During 2024, Elaine spent approximately 100 days in Ohio, working tirelessly to bring tourism into the 21st century. When back in Texas, she worked remotely. Elaine established numerous connections with the state and regional tourism officials and developed protocols and a strategic tourism plan for the future. Everyone on the council would enthusiastically support her in what she did. Here's just one example. She made connections with the state of Ohio, particularly with the Ohio Humanities and America 250 Ohio folks. She caught wind that there was a documentary, thank you, that was made, and it was just being wrapped up, called After Ike. And it was a documentary that memorialized in 1919, then Lieutenant Colonel Dwight Eisenhower led a caravan of 80 vehicles, military vehicles, from Washington, D.C. to San Francisco, following the Lincoln Highway, such that it was at that time. It traveled through Bucyrus. And the folks that put this documentary together included, in about a 55-minute film, included 1 minute from Bucyrus, the mural. The mural, and I think there's a shot of the military one as well. But anyway, 1 minute out of 55 minutes is nothing to sneeze at. So Elaine got working and arranged to have the screening of this documentary here in Bucyrus, well, specifically Hort Farms. And in October of last year, 150 people went out there, saw it. We had people from Ohio Humanities here, from America 250 Ohio here. It was one of the best events that this city has had in a long time. They showed the film as a huge success, and it just appeared. The film just was shown this week on PBS. And at the end, I thought, well, I'm just going to see the credits. They're scrolling through the credits to the end. And whose names just show up? Elaine Naples. On the credit of this document, those people that put that documentary together thought so much of her and her efforts that they included her on the credits. And my point is, you can't buy that kind of publicity for a town. And so it's just one example of the work that she did, and we should be very grateful that she's been here. So To wrap up, Elaine was born and raised here by two of the most respected people in Crawford County, and I'm going to embarrass Elwood sitting back there, her dad Elwood and Sarah Gebhardt. She has lived all over the world and currently resides in Houston, Texas. She didn't need this income, yet she signed up with the sole purpose to help Bucyrus. So much so that she agreed to pay her airfare from here to Houston and back out of her earnings, which was almost $5,000. How many consultants do you know that would do that? We were lucky to have her here. Everyone involved in tourism during her tenure will wholeheartedly support her efforts, and she certainly doesn't deserve the treatment she's gotten. Thank you.
Thanks, Randy.
Questions?
Thank you.
No?
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, Becky.
Thank you.
That's perfect.
I want to begin by making a formal apology to Norton Park and Mrs. Naples on misspeaking about her donation. To begin. What you have here in your packet is a copy of 2024 and 2025 finances from tourism. There were some questions about 3 invoices that I have provided for you. There is website information. If you have questions about the analytics or want to look at them and do a deeper dive, you're welcome to come to my office or I can send them to you. And then I have a little 2024-25 tourism report that I would like to go over. Over the past 2 years, Bucyrus Tourism has rebuilt, strengthened, and expanded its presence as a driver of community engagement, downtown and regional visibility through strategic marketing, event development, media partnerships, and educational outreach. Bucyrus has positioned itself as a vibrant and welcoming destination. In 2024, Community Heart Consulting, led by Elaine Naples, was contracted to resurrect the Bucyrus Tourism and Visitors Bureau and rebuild its marketing and promotional foundation. Elaine worked directly with the Ohio Department of Development to create a landing page highlighting the 2024 solar eclipse, positioning Bucyrus within the statewide solar eclipse initiative and elevating visibility during this high-impact tourism event. Ohio Travel Association and Ohio Paparazzi are 2 key relationships that were established, and there was more. These partnerships increase content sharing, statewide promotion, and digital visibility for Bucyrus. Elaine also created professional tourism tear sheets, which is also included in your packet, which we still utilize today to share with visitors and partnering bureaus. Elaine launched a foundational Facebook marketing featuring weekly itineraries highlighting places to visit, eat, and shop. She created the monthly newsletter titled Tourism Talk, which grew over 1,500 subscribers. Partnered with Ted Fannin Marketing to capture professional footage still used in ongoing promotions. Bucyrus Tourism first attended Ohio Tourism Day in Columbus in 2024, helping to reestablish Bucyrus's presence and promote the city's story at the state level. Throughout 2024, Bucyrus Tourism welcomed tour groups, including a traveling group of antique hearse enthusiasts and a tour bus from Reynoldsburg, as many more. The partnership with Community Heart Consulting concluded in November of 2024, leaving a strong foundation for continued tourism growth. In 2025, tourism leadership transitioned under the Chamber Assistant Director at the time. That was me, and I've continued to expand the tourism mission. The first priority was transforming the tourism landing page into a fully developed standalone website, visitbucyrus.org. The new website serves as a centralized hub featuring attractions, restaurants, shopping, and events, and things to do. The former newsletter was transitioned into a blog-based format hosted directly on the website. Subscribers now receive a monthly email directing them to feature blog stories, increased website traffic, and engagement. In partnership with Crawford County Now, Bucyrus Tourism produced 11 monthly videos in 2025 highlighting blog topics, local attractions, businesses, and events. Additionally, Bucyrus Tourism ran 6 radio spots promoting tourism, reaching a broader regional audience. Social media efforts were extensive with approximately 400 Facebook posts over the year, sharing blog content, events, itineraries, and local promotions. Collaboration with Lynn Media further extended the reach of these campaigns, driving engagement and visibility for all tourism-related entities. Bucyrus Tourism returned to Ohio Tourism Day in 2025, showcasing the city and its attractions statewide. We brought Brady, our town mascot, to meet and greet visitors at our table and highlighted key local entities, including Castle Coin and Jewelry, the Pickwick Place, Bucyrus Copper Kettle Works, Bucyrus Historical Society, Crossroad Candles, Cooper's Jams and Jelly, and the Arrogant Goat. This effort helped showcase the diversity of Bucyrus's attractions, businesses, and cultural offerings to tourism professionals, media representatives, and travel influencers from across Ohio. Bucyrus Tourism continued to activate downtown through signature events, the 45th Best Worst Bike Ride held in conjunction with the Bratwurst Festival. We held 3 summer concerts at Shines Art Park, consistently drawing crowds downtown. And we had First Friday events encouraging shopping, dining, and community participation. We also held Candlelight Christmas, which, as you know, is a festive evening event celebrating the holiday season and bringing the community together downtown. These events increased foot traffic, supported local retailers and restaurants, and strengthened downtown vibrancy. In 2025, Bucyrus Tourism partnered with the Bucyrus Summer School program to launch a tourist of their town. Students got to visit the Bucyrus Copper Kettle Works, explore the Bucyrus Historical Society, participated in a book walk provided by the library, learned about downtown murals, and got to meet Brady, Bucyrus's mascot. This initiative fostered local pride and educated the next generation about Bucyrus's history and attractions. In 2025, Bucyrus Tourism coordinated with a touring car group offering a curated experiences that make Bucyrus a desirable stop for organized tours. In 2026, based on community feedback and strong attendance at summer events, Bucyrus Tourism plans to expand live entertainment programming by hosting 2 concerts per month during the season at downtown at Shines Art Park. This expansion aims to increase consistent downtown traffic and support local restaurants and retailers, and again, enhance community engagement and strengthen Bucyrus's identity. Over the past 2 years, Bucyrus Tourism has transitioned from rebuilding its foundation to operating a modern, multi-platform tourism strategy. Through strong partnerships, expanded digital outreach, professional marketing materials, statewide representation, event activation, youth engagement, and media collaboration, Bucyrus Tourism has significantly increased visibility and community impact. The progress made in 2024 laid the groundwork. The growth seen in 2025 demonstrates momentum. The plans for 2026 reflect confidence, responsiveness to the community, feedback, and the commitment to continue vibrancy. Bucyrus Tourism is proud to represent, promote, and elevate our community, and we look forward to building on the success.
Nice, thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Anybody got any questions?
Good job, Becky.
Thank
You
you.
had a lot to go through here. I wasn't expecting all this. I appreciate it, and I will be looking through it. Where's the miscellaneous come from? Like you have like miscellaneous, like $500.
Event sponsorship.
Okay.
they can be detailed differently moving forward.
That's a miscellaneous income, $500, and there's a $40, and there's a $60. I didn't know.
The $40 is from the Candlelight Christmas. The vendors that participated paid $40 to set up.
Anybody else have any questions?
No,
Becky?
Very good, thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
I'd ask if there's anybody else who want to come up from the tourism or chamber.
Yeah. Is there anyone else from the chamber or tourism that would like to come up and speak? What?
I'm sorry. I just mentioned that Rhonda Rowland and Fred Fischer are also here from North Bicentennial meeting.
Okay.
Sorry. Thank you.
Yep. Would either of you like to come up and speak about anything? Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right, then we will move on to open projects. Is there any open projects anybody wants to discuss?
From open project. Mr. Goldberg.
Yes, sir.
Civil public performance licensing. Is there any reason to have that on here, or did you guys take care of that?
What?
Civic public performance licensing for people to play up on the stage.
He wasn't here last time because he was sick.
I
So
was sick. I got no idea
yeah,
what
he
you're
probably
talking about.
doesn't.
I think you still are.
Becky,
A little bit.
would you mind coming up and answering my question, please? Just a short, it's a simple question. So you're going to sponsor some people up at the stage, Tourism Bureau is, correct? Is that what you said?
Yes, if we get, people have the ability to sponsor those concerts as well.
Okay. How much does it cost to pay the
So there's a
BMI?
licensure, and from what I understand, I think you guys have already obtained this so that people
We
can.
did.
Okay.
I don't always say the wording right, but yes, but we have not paid yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much is something like that? Do you know? Off the
It
top
just
of your-
depends on the number of people that attend the performance.
You have to buy it per performance?
You buy it, well, you apply for it, they give it to you, and then at the end of that cycle, they will send you, like,
So
they
if you
send you a
attend-
questionnaire, how many people attended to that.
So if 10 people, it's X amount. If
Correct.
30
Correct.
people?
Yeah.
Oh,
I haven't
okay.
got my final.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you be?
And it goes by as well if you charge for the event, which we don't.
We've had some people that wanted to play up there but couldn't because they didn't have the money to pay the BMI. Would you, I mean, is that something the tourism would look at, consider, is sponsoring them to pay the BMIs?
Yeah, like if they reached out to you guys and said, hey, I want to perform.
That's something that we could discuss.
Okay.
But you would consider it, is all I'm asking.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
I've got a question on some open projects.
Yeah.
It seems we have a lot of annexation, family farm, TSC.
I know, I think they're just kind of
Still there.
hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once we get them done.
Going to the recycling, the new recycling building that they just put in out there. The problems we're having with that, wouldn't these fall under the same family farm? How did they get built without being annexed, using water lines and sewer lines? And
That is an ongoing issue. Those are two separate things. They're not intertwined at all.
what do you mean?
Like the TSC and the family farm and home,
Mm-hmm.
those two things are separate because one came before the other.
So what you're saying is we can't combine all those
Correct.
annexations? And Judge and CETA is totally separate. We had an AOFF grant that's on here from 2024. Does that need to be on there?
What does that mean? I'll tell you. I can't remember.
I was gonna say, there's a lot of acronyms floating around out there.
Yeah, tell me about it. I can't keep them straight.
I can look it up.
It's from 2024 to 2025.
What date was it referred?
2024, 11/21, 2024. Tommy's just taking responsibility for it, so.
Seth Hickman reported that he met
Actually, we
with
didn't miss it.
administration and County Crawford partnerships to need a site-ready project for that.
Yeah, so maybe that's sitting there because there's nothing
Yeah.
appropriate for said grant.
We'll see what Tommy can find out with it, then we'll.
Okay.
just
That
leave it
works.
on there for now.
That'll work.
Okay. Any other open projects anybody wants to talk about?
Yeah, the
No?
EV charging station that just recently got put on there. How many does the city own right now? One?
One.
No, we don't even own that.
I was gonna say, we don't own that.
Partnership, I believe. Correct? Partnership owns that one. It's right behind the
They
partnership.
did own it, and the partnership's taking it
It was
over.
kind of a joint effort, and they're kind of taking over the responsibility of it.
The partnership is actually the ones that applied for the grant, got the grant money to have it installed.
One picking part.
Yes, directly behind the lawyer's office, behind the hairdresser, like back in.
And the other one at the hospital, VIA owns that one.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. And Dan Wireball, and just, the reason that the EV station was just reintroduced is Dan Wireball stated that he would like to be able to move forward and see if he can find more grant money to increase the volume of EV stations here locally.
I guess my question, I think I'd like to see some kind of study or report showing how often they're used.
There is a report that comes out.
There is one?
Yeah, I can get a copy of that.
I appreciate that, thank you.
I'd like to
Go ahead and
see
send that to all of us.
And I think in Dan's email that he stated there were some statistics too of like the future with EV and how there's gonna be a lot more EV vehicles being purchased over the course of the next so many years and so. Okay. Any other projects anybody wants to talk about? Okay. And citizen participation.
Greg Wyatt, 1125 Hillcrest Drive. Some of the things I want to talk about is the Visitors and Travel Bureau.
Nice.
I'm going to be nice,
Thank you.
trust me. I appreciate the public records request that you gave me on this stuff. I find it kind of concerning that Mr. Horn made a statement in here that they want to comply with transparency and accountability of the bed tax funding. I found that quite interesting. The other things I found out, and I was just told tonight, and it was interesting, when Mr. Randy Fischer said he was on the tourism board in 2024, and he made the statement that Elaine Naples' contract was with the Bucyrus Chamber of Commerce. Okay? That was quite an interesting statement that was made tonight. The other thing I want to bring out too is the last contract with the Visitors and Travel Bureau. That was signed by Casey Graw. It says on Part 5 miscellaneous C, at all times, both parties agree to follow federal, state, and municipal laws and regulations, including but not limited to those dealing with equal opportunity employment discrimination, public records, ethics, and records retention.
That's in between
I understand,
them and the government.
just letting you know. but it was in the contract with the city of Bucyrus. Okay. The other thing I find quite interesting too is their articles of incorporation that was done back in 2001. And reading over this with a person who has quite knowledge in this, that they are actually in violation of their own bylaws. That's written clear back in 2001.
So you would take that up with the ethics committee, I guess?
I'm probably going to. The other thing I found quite interesting too was doing some research on this, that it says under receiving city tax money, it says transparency. If a nonprofit receives more than 50% of its gross revenues from government contracts, which agreement is a contract, and this information is considered a public record. The other thing I found too is that no earnings of this nonprofit, because they are stating they are a 501c3 nonprofit. No earnings can benefit private individuals or shareholders. Also, the board members must follow duties of care, loyalty, and compliance to manage charitable resources properly. That is by the State Attorney General's office. Also, it states too that the funding must support activities that benefit public, such as community development, social services, or public improvements. While they can receive funding, it's not automatic. It requires approval of City Council, local board contracts, grants, and service. The nonprofits receiving public funds are typically subject to audits to ensure the funds are being used on the agreed-upon purpose, public purpose. The other thing is too is, since it's been stated that the new Chamber of Commerce, plus the old one too, managed the Visitors and Travel Bureau, okay? That was stated many, many times. So where are the contractual agreements according to the law under the 501c3 requirements? There is none. I almost guarantee you that, and because no one has talked about those. So there is none. And also there was actually an Attorney General ruling on this, and but what I'm saying is I think there needs to be further discussion about this, because I don't think the stories are mixed mash. They're not saying what really is true, and that the fact that we give them money, and I understand someone made the statement, yeah, they can do whatever they want with it, but I think the next agreement or contract that the city does needs to be more spelled out of what is going to be required of them and what we want, how they spend their money, and what money goes for what. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any more public participation? See none. We will adjourn at 7:20 p.m.
Platting Committee?
Platting Committee will come to order at 7:24. You have before you the minutes from February 5th, 2026.
Introduce your
Can
people.
I what?
Introduce your people.
Oh, I'm sorry. James B. Chair, Terry Spiegel, Allison Sinclair, Cody Scott. Minutes from February 5th, 2026. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept them.
Cody,
I'll second it.
Allison. All those in favor?
Aye.
Passes. Ohio Model Flood Damage Reduction Regulations. Mr. Keefe.
In front of you, you have a copy of the current Ohio model for floodplain damage that the Ohio Department of Natural Resources have submitted to us. The last time this was updated was back in 2010. So for 16 years, we had, in the last 16 years, we've had changes to different floodplain managers in the city. So this update has not been done. This was brought to my attention after I had a webinar meeting with the coordinator from ODNR. So this is just an update on what we're enforcing or requesting gets submitted for when somebody is having issues with being told they need flood insurance. And we show them what steps and what things they need to submit to show that they are not falling in a floodplain or verify that they are.
So this is the updated version?
This is the updated regulations. So 16 years ago, just to give you an idea, back then when you wanted to verify that somebody was in a floodplain, you would reference the FEMA floodplain maps. Now, there's a portal on the FEMA site that you can pull up a GIS map showing, you can type in the city, county, the address now, and it zooms into your location. You can turn on the aerial photo to be in the background, and it will show you where the floodplain limit is, where the floodway, where the floodplain is. So to verify where your house is in relationship to the floodplain elevation, it's required that you get a flood certificate or an elevation certificate. To have that done, you have to have a licensed surveyor come out and verify the finished floor elevation on your property to see how it relates relative to what the floodplain elevation is. So that's how you can, you have to submit it to FEMA. The surveyor submits it to FEMA. It's a little bit of a process to get an answer back from the federal government on this. But we just had a city employee last year, a property they had purchased on the old flood maps. It showed that all of her property, their property was in the floodplain. Well, the flood map did not show that the limits were changed when a street was put in. So it totally changed the flow of the floodplain. So with the elevation certificate and the documentation submitted by their surveyor, it took care of them not having to have flood insurance. So this is just a way of regulating what is being done. Also, part of this is saying about not building anything in the floodplain and stuff like that.
What do you want from us?
Get it as an emergency so we can get it into an ordinance so I can meet the deadline that ODNR has set for it.
What did you say the deadline was, Mike?
End of March.
And everything you got that's in blue is new to it, or is that?
That is reference
Okay,
to Ohio Revised Code.
okay.
So actually, everything, okay, let me go down the pages now. The first couple pages is just what needs to be done for advertising. We fall under a non-charter municipality. So you go down to page, the bottom part of page 2, all of page 3 is what is saying what needs to be done. If we're doing emergency adoption, it's one public hearing and then motion to suspend to 3 readings by 3/4 vote.
Brandon, you good with this?
I'm good with it.
I just gotta fill out a legislation request or whatever it is.
I mean, it's already done, but yeah.
Oh, you already did it?
But I still need the legislation request.
In the first main page of the document is, it says at the top, I'm not sure what page it is, but it says Special Purpose Flood Damage Reduction Ordinance, City of Bucyrus, Ohio. And it starts with the highlighted section 1321.01, which reference what our present section is under the codified ordinance for the floodplain section.
Can I have a motion to do what he just said?
So moved.
As an emergency?
So,
Second.
Allison's first, Terry's second.
Hey, why would, can I still ask something here?
Sure.
On page 6, it's in, you got it highlighted in yellow.
Yeah.
Now what, is that, you want that out of there, or does that has to be in there?
No, that's just for my reference. I
Okay,
forgot to
okay.
unhighlight it.
Okay, that means nothing.
Now, it's just so I know that it got changed.
'Cause I know there's other stuff that's been like that too, so, okay, good enough. All right,
Allison,
yes.
Terry,
yes.
Cody,
Yes.
passes. Yes, I'm a yes. Code enforcement, we're good there, right? We done? All right, code enforcement, job duties. Yeah, would you? This is about Gordon.
Yes. On his defense, I just got him yesterday.
All right, Robert Taylor, 411 Plymouth Street. Yeah, I just got this job description for the code enforcement officer, so bear with me. I'm not, but essentially, what I would like to see happen is disperse these duties amongst the administration and other departments. Like, for instance, and this is just hypothetical, tall weeds, grass, things like that, that's seasonal, which is what Gordon worked. I would think that should probably fall into like maybe the zoning department as well, because if I'm not mistaken, are you guys not in charge of the tree lawns? Someone puts a campaign sign or an advertisement, you enforce that. I don't see how that's much different than tall grass or weeds. But also we need to look at, and I can't find it in here, I was looking while I was sitting down, in the 999 that we just passed, Mr. Wyatt actually brought it up a while back, that there's a section in there that the water department actually holds some sort of obligation to, like, trash, rubbish, building materials that are strewn about.
Okay, can I suggest this?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Do you have the list of his responsibilities?
I have it here. I mean, it's pretty vague. I can read it. I can read it to you if you want me to. It came in the packet for platting, but it was late. It was late arrival.
I got a separate email and I got it.
Yeah, they didn't find. I asked about a week ago for it, and we just now found it.
Okay. And the whole thing just died.
I can read them, Jim. We can talk about them if you want me to.
But can you, like, you want to divvy them up?
Absolutely.
That's your plan, to divvy them
Yes,
up?
because we are trying to eliminate.
When you get that plan together and get it down on paper, can we bring it back then?
Absolutely, yes, sir. Not a problem.
Is that good?
Yep.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you. Anybody else wants to speak on the code enforcement job duties?
I have something on the code enforcement, but not the job duties. So if we decide to put it on zoning or the administration, have the guts to go out there and start telling people they need to clean up their properties.
That's not exactly the way it works.
Yeah.
They get notifications in the mail.
Because if you, there's a couple properties in town, there's abandoned vehicles been sitting there for years, and there's grass growing all the way around the vehicles on their properties.
It spells out the process in the first page.
But he is right. My code enforcement officer was threatened with a brick, and officers, one of them got hurt during that altercation, right,
Yeah, they got
Dorsey?
hit with a brick or something.
Yeah. Huh?
They got hit with a brick or something.
Yeah.
Can I add a comment to this?
I would like to make a comment first. I got interrupted. As long as you guys can divvy it up however you want, that's true. However, enforcement is still on my end, and I don't really want to deal with an additional 6 departments funneling their prosecutions to me. It would be a nightmare. That's my piece on it.
What are your suggestions, sir? You keep that position open,
Give it back to the fire department.
the whole thing?
They're the ones that are best situated to do it. They had it beforehand.
Tall grass and everything? Because that's what Florida did.
I mean, tall grass is a fire hazard.
Valid point.
And I'm limited on what I can do
Right.
on the investigation side, otherwise I can't prosecute it.
I understand that.
I don't think it should be in my office. I think it should go back to the fire department. They're the ones who are specially trained. That's why we got Gordon in the first place, was because he used to do it at the fire department.
Okay, that makes sense.
And now that we don't have so there's a provision under the law where the court can order the code enforcement officer to go inspect a building if they think that the case before them is over a crappy house, for lack of a better term. We didn't have one. They ordered the fire department to go do it. They went and did their report. Looked exactly like Gordon's. That's the only other option we got.
Was that recent?
Yeah.
Okay, so, and that's.
Yeah, that was this month.
That's to my question, like, if he was covering, if his duties encompassed that such a broad spectrum of things, what did we do when he wasn't working? Because he was a seasonal employee, correct?
Right. Nothing.
Okay, well.
I can't go do it
Agree.
because then I can't prosecute
Yes,
it.
sir, I understand.
Now, I fixed a lot by just having conversations and stuff, but if push comes to shove and I can't convince them to take care of their stuff, I can't do anything. And if I try to informally settle it and get them to clean up their crap, I gotta go get a special prosecutor if we go down that route.
Well, I think that, does that change your position at all, Jim? Do you want me to try to divvy this up, or would you like to take
I
the law?
want you to look at all aspects of it. I want you to come up with the best idea you think and come back and present it to Platting.
Will do. I'll be in contact with the law with you.
You got my number?
Yes, sir.
Anybody else?
Yeah, Jim.
What? Who?
Keep in mind that you are taking a non-union position job and trying to put it back on a union, on the unions.
I know that.
Sure.
Anybody else? Open projects.
If we gave the police department more money, would you like it?
All right, can we move on? Open projects. ODNR floodplain. I think we're good. Anybody else have anything that they want to talk about on open projects? Public participation. Seeing none, meeting adjourned at 7:40.
Public Lands and Buildings?
Okay, I would like to call Public Lands and Buildings Committee to order at 7:42. Those in attendance are Allison LeClaire, Chris Moritz, Robert Taylor, and myself right that off chair. First thing on the agenda, I need a motion to approve the minutes from February 5th, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Taylor, second by LeClaire. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passed. We're gonna go straight to open projects list. Does anyone have anything they want to talk about on the open projects tonight? If not, I've got a couple. And I'm gonna need Brandon's help on this one.
All right.
And maybe Mr. Starner. I need educated on the tower lease. I'm completely ignorant on this subject. Do we own the property, the tower, all of it? How does that work? I'm assuming it's this tower right over by Little Caesar. Is that our property?
Yeah, we own the property.
Do we own the actual tower?
No.
Is it being leased to anyone right now?
Yes.
What's that? What we're asking for is a renewal lease for this tower. I think I'm seeing it twice on here. American tower lease in 2025, and then I see it on here again, tower lease in 2020. Is that the same thing?
No.
So have we done anything with it since 2020? It says American Tower, says existing lease needs modifications.
So,
Like I said, I'm completely ignorant on this.
right.
You don't have to-
A very abbreviated summary of what happened is American Tower wanted to extend their lease and they didn't like what we were wanting to do with it and they said, never mind.
So there's no lease with American Tower?
There is.
There is.
They wanted to renew it and they didn't like what we had to say.
So it's just in limbo at this
Correct.
point.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
confused. So there's no lease, but
No, there is a lease. It's just set
It's the same lease.
set to expire in what, like 20 years? Something like that. And they wanted to renew it now and
okay.
they did not like that council's number and said, never mind. And I'm assuming that they're gonna hit us up in a couple years and try again.
So in the meantime, what are we doing? Nothing?
Nothing. You can remove it.
I was gonna say, so we can just take that off until it comes up again in a couple of years?
Yep.
Okay, guess I can ask if anyone's got their opinion on that. Is it okay to remove? Does anyone agree on that one? I don't
I was
believe I
going
have
out,
to-
let's bring it back up again.
Yeah,
Well,
we have to take a vote for anything like
This
that,
is
but-
a new council. You guys can get this taken care of now if you want me to reach back out to them.
In your opinion, they're probably just gonna blow you off again?
Well, they came to us first. They just didn't like that council's number.
So we need to come up with another number and then approach them again.
Or just wait. It's up to you. Do you want to kick the can or do you want to try to get it resolved now?
Opinions?
Let's make a motion for the law director to reach out and try to reach an agreement with them.
Let's not kick the can. Perfect.
Do we need to come up with a number before we ask for legislation?
No.
No? Okay. Then I would entertain a motion for legislation for the tower lease.
You're not asking for legislation. You're asking for me to reach out to them.
Yeah, we don't need legislation for that.
I thought you were gonna redo it.
Once
We didn't even get past negotiations. The first, when they came and asked, we didn't even get past negotiations. They just didn't like the number, didn't provide a counter, nothing. So I'll reach back out to them.
What do you have to negotiate with, I guess is what I'm asking.
Hopefully a more sensible council.
So you're gonna reach out and say, hey, you guys
We
wanna
got
work
it.
this out, and then you're gonna come back to council, and then
Mhm.
we'll go from there.
That's the plan.
So we'll leave it on.
Perfect.
Great. Now I'm educated. Thank you very much. Anybody want to go on anything else on the open project list? I thought I seen something on here earlier. Oh, the office space in City Hall. That's all complete, I'm assuming, so we can remove that.
That's true. There's still some work orders we're finishing up on that, but that's, as far as the move, the move itself is done, yep.
Go ahead and remove that one then. Anyone have anything else? If not, I'm gonna ask if there's any public participation. Seeing none, we're going to adjourn at 7:49.
Health and Safety Committee?
I am calling the Health and Safety Committee at 7:50 PM. Members present, Chris Moritz, Cody Scott, Ray Thidoff, and myself, Robert Taylor, the chair. You've all looked at the minutes from February 5th, 2026. I'd entertain a motion to accept those.
Second.
Ray, motion first, Chris second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. All right, all I have tonight is continued conversation with the fire department. And I've got some numbers I just want to discuss, and I guess make my case for what I'm talking about. First in principle, as we've seen from the beginning of this meeting and just the past however long, everything keeps getting more expensive for the citizens. Very, very few times do we see government trying to make substantial cuts to help. And that's got to stop. The city is in danger of losing $600,000 in property tax if property tax get abolished in the state of Ohio. We're about to looking at buying new garbage trucks. Water rates are going up, sewer rates are going up. And the cost of living, I understand, is probably going to continue to rise. That's not in our control. So for us to sit here and try to justify what I see as excess overtime in any department is fiscally irresponsible, and it's not fair to the taxpayers. And just for the public's consumption, I promise you, when I'm done going through the fire department's overtime, I'm going to the police department's overtime. Then I'm going to go look at the water department. I'm going to look at every single department I'm allowed to look at and try to cut any excess waste. If it's $1,000, it's $1,000. If it's $100,000, it's $100,000. And here's my theory. If every year from the current budget we can save $200,000 and we can manage to carry that over, you're talking about buying a police cruiser, paying somebody's contract out, because last year, Mr. Sparks, we paid him $60,000 at the end of the year. You're talking a $100,000 down payment for an ambulance, or a $100,000 down payment for a fire truck. And we all know these, what I'm gonna call them major financial events, are fast approaching the city. And I've yet to see a good plan that does not include a grant or a loan. And I consider grants and loans hopes and dreams. So if we aren't going to be adults with our money, with the tax people's money, the taxpayers' money, what are we even doing? It's time to look at these as adults and understand, especially for the safety forces, this is part of the sacrifice. And this is, people are going to take offense to this, and I'm sorry that you do. But if you're going to run around, this goes for the cops, the firefighters, and we don't pay them, but even people in the military. If you're gonna run around and beat your chest and call yourself a hero, well then live up to the sacrifice, because part of it is this. The city needs to be financially viable. That's just the truth of it. And if it's all about the money for you, then you've literally taken the virtue out of it being a sacrifice. And we want you to live well, we do. You know, I did some numbers from the 2024 overtime, and I deducted 20% from every individual's time and a half pay. And after I did that, 11 out of the 19 employees still made over $100,000. The lowest employee was at $75,000. On average, you're probably still talking $96,000 at these. And now, obviously, that overtime was not dispersed equally in 2024. There was one guy that made $54,000 on time and a half. That didn't count double time. Now, double time was really low. So I'll discontinue my rant in that area and talk about the hours. 2024, the fire department had 150 hours of where they paid double time. Now we all heard what the fire chief said. The only time they paid double time was if they called everybody in for an emergency. 150 hours that year is the only time. That was the total amount of hours we paid people double time in the fire department. There are 8, so that means you had more than 6 firefighters. There's 8,760 hours in a year. So 98.3% of the time, the city of Bucyrus does not need more than 6 firefighters. I think it would be relatively safe to say and assume we can probably get by with not having 6 every hour of every day. Now, I'm not saying their normal shift is 6. I understand that. I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is people schedule vacation, so that guy is on vacation. Well, we're immediately scheduling overtime for this guy. This guy takes a sick day. So now we've got 2 guys on 24 hours overtime. And here's the numbers. In 2024, we paid out 3,975 sick hours. Now, I don't know, the numbers don't, the math doesn't add up to that, because there's the way they pay that is weird. I don't understand it. But that's how many sick hours we had. That's about 10 hours every single day if you divide that by 365. So for 1+ shift, every single day we had a firefighter that was sick. And we paid overtime for quite a bit of that, I would assume. It's not all, because, let's see, I mean, you've got 4,248 vacation hours that year, 2,734 personal time hours, 1,266 comp time hours, 2,712 Kelly Day hours. There's plenty of time off here. And we're paying overtime for damn near all of it. And we have got to mitigate that. Not the time off. They're entitled to their time off. Take your time off. The problem is paying overtime to maintain 6. We should only pay overtime to maintain 5, because their contract in Article 20 says their minimum is 5. Why are we paying overtime to fund in excess? Because 6, according to their contract, is in excess of what they actually need to operate. So we should not be paying overtime to maintain 6 firefighters in the EMS. You know, and 2025 was not much there. Now here's the interesting thing. The total budget for 2024 was $2,043 and some change. Or $2,043,000 and some change. The total budget for 2025 was $2,117,000 and some change. So it's $75,000 difference. Yet we had, in just time and a half, we had 3,000 less hours, 2,500 less hours. We paid less overtime, but the budget went up by $75,000. So they got a nice pay raise. Good for them. So the money's there to pay them decent wages on regular shifts. We don't need to be paying this kind of overtime to maintain 6 guys. And I don't know what we can do legislatively, if we can force them to not work. Can we pass legislation, Mr. Law Director, that says that we will not pay overtime to maintain more than the manpower minimum?
I would not advise that.
Okay. Is there anything we can do legislatively to make them mitigate this?
Not
Other than
legislatively.
pool funding?
Not legislatively.
Okay. So we are literally at the mercy of the service director, the mayor, and the fire chief to get the overtime under control.
Basically, yeah.
Okay. I have nothing more on that then. If we decide we want to try to mandate some sort of report monthly, we can look into that, but the big problem is unnecessary if we can just get these guys to agree to run with the 5-man minimum that they agreed to. Anybody got anything to say on that then?
The only other thing I would bring up is the median household income. In Bucyrus is $53,000.
And we had a guy who made $54,000 on overtime in
That's
2024.
2 people in a household working to make that money.
Yes, I understand. And like I said, in 2024, when I did my 20% deduction, just not only off their total salary, it was off of the time and a half, they still all would have made, the lowest was 75,000. The highest was 118 or 120, something like that. I don't remember exactly, but still very, very lucrative money for the city of Bucyrus. So,
Those guys are making what Clements firefighters make too, by the way.
yes, with an average of 6-7 calls a day. So something's got to give there, and I hope, Tommy, I hope you're really listening, and I hope the mayor's still, wherever he's at, I hope he's paying attention. Something's got to give here. We can't keep doing this to the taxpayer. Anybody else got anything on that one? All right, I'll move on. I don't have anything on open projects. Anybody got anything on open projects?
I do.
Yeah, I would like to ask about the food trucks.
I'm sorry, what'd you say? Fire ordinance, that's what we just talked about. Are you talking about the rules?
This is we have to update for 2025 legislation, which Brandon started already.
Well, I didn't know anything about that. I mean, I thought we were talking about
It's done
fire.
and sent to you.
I know, but I didn't want to say that. Thanks.
Gotcha.
Okay, so
At last council in December,
that didn't include me.
I know, the chief Bowman brought the updates for 2025 to the ordinance. Brandon, is it like 1501 or something?
Yes.
It just updates the rules and aligning it with Ohio. And Kevin suggested at the December meeting that we wait for the new council approve it.
Do we have those somewhere? Are they on my?
I think they were the first one.
So I guess I skipped I should have talked about the overtime at open projects, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring that up here in just a minute.
I'm sorry, I thought.
you're good.
I didn't know that was, let me see, where's your, see, there's open projects, there's the committee packet, let's see what's in there. I didn't see it when I scrolled through there earlier. There's economic development, there's minutes. Oh, right there it is. No, that's flood reduction. Anybody else see it in the packet?
It's on this one.
Okay, not in the packet. How about, is that an emergency, Brandon?
I don't remember how it was requested.
Well, it wouldn't have been an emergency if it was in December, because this is February.
Not an emergency? Fair enough.
And this is a request from the fire chief? But it's about the fire department. Well, he's not here. I'd rather him be here to guide me through this.
It's the fire prevention code.
Yeah, I might have questions for him, so we might need him here to continue this transaction. We'll table that. Okay, no open projects.
Yeah, I'd like to talk
Sorry.
about
Sorry. The what?
The food trucks.
The food truck. Well, I don't know anything about them, so.
I don't either, but
That should have already been passed.
it says committee leading this on until legislation is
Mhm.
completed.
Nope, it never got passed. And what are we waiting on there?
Let me look at my notes.
I think it's different fire codes, isn't it?
Well, they have a big thing to do with it. I know that. They do a lot of the inspections, from my understanding.
I think they're basing the fire code off what Fostoria is.
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea.
So that was combined with part of the fire.
I think that was the biggest.
Oh, it was?
Besides
Okay.
which fire
Yeah, I
codes
don't
go
know.
off of.
That's,
Does say draft provided to committee back in 2024.
oh, well, I wasn't here.
It sounds like it's been completed.
Hey, Rick, the thing with the food trucks is they were waiting on the fire chief to get information for inspections of them before festival season.
Gotcha.
Greg, if you can help me out, wasn't it Falls Story or Findlay Fire Department that does it?
False story.
Yeah, Falls Story does them over in that area, and it'd be a great idea to get what they do over here and maybe get in contact with like Richland County too.
It says fire chief provided a copy of the Astoria, Ohio food truck ordinance.
Yeah, there was something after that, though. There was
Yeah.
something he needed.
This topic was
Come up.
brought up in the fall of '24 for food trucks, so it's been discussed for as long as I've been here.
I can't believe last council didn't get that done. I'm shocked.
As far as it is on my end, is it's still in limbo. You guys have my copy, and
Who's got your?
I don't have a copy of anything. I don't know where to.
yeah, it'll be on. Well, it should be in the last packet that it was relevant in. What day was that?
2024? Yeah, definitely before you were here too.
I don't want to hear about minutes.
Well, I'd say, Ray, we might just want to table that, keep that tabled, and I will investigate it.
See, that's the problem. Everything gets tabled until it disappears.
Yeah, I mean, this is something from 2024.
I don't know. I'll make a note here to follow up.
I'll take a look and see what I can find out.
What else do we have on here that got forgot?
I think we've already cleaned a lot of that up.
Do you want to talk about the overtime?
The derelict buildings, we just talked about the
Pretty
overtime.
short list.
I got something I want.
Yeah, if you got things to add to it, let's see what Ray's got here.
Oh, I'm done. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Cody.
So I've been working on a document here. You said we're gonna get to the police later, so I'm not gonna.
Yeah, their
I'm not gonna call
their
them out
budget's
yet.
gonna be held to the same scrutiny.
So I've been working on a document here, and this is from January 1 of 2023 to December 31 of 25. Overtime hours, I'm not gonna read them by year, I'm just gonna give
No,
you a
you're good.
summary. Overtime hours for the fire department was 43, and this includes time and a half and double time. Was 43,501 hours on either overtime, time and a half, or double time. And that total was $1,558, $436,047.
You pulled that off of 2025?
I took that off of, of course, this is all in documents on demand.
Yeah.
January 1 of 23 through December 31 of 25.
Oh, gotcha.
So over a 3-year period.
I gotcha.
I mean, I can give you the year-by-year breakdown if you want it.
Well, I've got that, like, you know.
I sent you guys all an email of it if anybody from the public wants that document.
Like I said, last year they had just in time and a half, not counting double time, because double time's real
Last year-
minuscule. It's 12,527 hours.
Yeah, and that was a total of 4,600.
463,000.
3,000, yeah.
Mhm.
And then they had double time was 277 and a half hours.
Yeah, the double time's very minuscule,
Right.
and then that's my point. You don't need 6 guys. 98.3% of the time, you don't need 6.
I
Or
spoke
you don't
with-
need more than 6.
I spoke with Gallion, Mayor Satterfield, and he said they operate, the state minimum says 5, they operate on 5.
Again, and our guys, I don't have a problem that our normal shift is 6. That's fine. The problem is paying overtime to cover vacation and sick days. I mean, you can, all the hours they have off throughout the whole year, it's enormous.
I mean, I guess my question is that it's 1.558 million, how much of it is unnecessary?
I would say at least one day of it. I mean, you know, if you're playing a 6 guy, 24 hours of
I mean, there are a lot,
overtime.
like you said, there are a lot of factors that
Yeah.
draw overtime, yeah, and that
And
extra
here's
time.
another thing that was brought up, the chief said that we can't pay, we're not gonna pay guys to sit at home and wait for a phone call. Well, SRT does it. His SRT members, they're not sitting there waiting for a call and they're not getting paid, but when the call comes, they go. And I just witnessed that the other day. I was visiting my granddaughter and her dad got the call and he,
What is SRT?
special response team, SWAT.
That's what the sheriff's
And
office.
we have cops on it,
Right, but
you
it's
know,
through the
yeah,
sheriff's
they run it. But those guys aren't sitting around on call, getting paid, being on call. The call comes in and they take off and they go do what they gotta do. And that, again, goes with, that's why it's called a sacrifice.
Well, Robert, it's not that simple. So, under the Fair Labor Standards Act, when you have somebody that's on call, you have to pay them if being on call puts enough of a restriction on their personal time that it's like they're being at work.
How does SRT get around it?
Or can't go too far because they have to come back. They can't. Dorsey, SRT is different, obviously. Would you like to explain why?
Typically, SRT, K-9 officers, and supervisors are all technically on call. However, you know, unless you're, say you're on vacation and you let people know, that's when you're not going to be available.
Right. So when you're on call, you
Yeah,
gotta
I understand
call.
how it works. And
Yeah.
I was in the Marines. I understand what being on call and being on duty means.
Well, they don't care what you're doing. The government cares what they're doing. If you're gonna be on call and you have to be at the fire department within a certain amount of time,
Yeah, I
that means
understand.
you can't go to Mansfield.
I understand what
which
the
means you gotta
radius
pay 'em.
means, because I've dealt with that too. I understand, and that's but what I'm saying. Then we don't have anybody on call. We work with the 5-man minimum, we don't pay overtime for vacation. I mean, that's just the way that's just
That
the
would
way we're gonna
expose
do
the
it.
city to an awful lot of liability.
Explain how. So how are we not gonna be a liability if we reach some sort of financial pitfall that we can't afford to pay 6 guys?
Because then we couldn't afford to pay them. And the state would say so.
So are you saying that their minimum's actually 6?
I'm saying council can't do anything about that.
then how did it get written into a contract then? Council vote on that contract?
Yes.
Okay, then council has a say. How do we say council doesn't have a say, but they're asked to vote on the contract?
That reminds me of what question we had for him when he wasn't here, is, I'm assuming in the past 200 years since Bucyrus has been around, question's probably been asked, needs to be asked again. How come council are not on, or at least be able to watch the contracts being done? If we can't participate in it, if we can't do that, can we at least watch it so we know more and go in there for 5 or 10 minutes, coming out and voting on something?
No, you're not allowed to be a part of negotiations, and negotiations are private. Technically, the mayor can designate the entire council as the negotiation team. I think that the state, SERB, as well as any arbitrator, as well as the union, would throw a hissy fit, rightly so. But the fact is, the law states you guys don't get a say in what the contract says. You approve or you deny, and once they TA on it, then the clock starts ticking. If you guys don't do anything, it's just like if the mayor doesn't veto a law, it just becomes law if he doesn't sign it. So.
All right, well, I guess we'll start removing funding and we'll demand that the fire department stays within their budget.
The power of the purse, Robert.
I mean, trying to be reasonable here and compromise, but you know, I don't even understand the purpose of this entire legislative body. I love government.
You and I should go down to the State House and testify sometime. I think that would be fun.
Well,
I've been
to the State House a few times. Not inside, but I've been there a few times. All righty, anybody got anything else?
I got one open project.
Go ahead, sir.
1308 Fremont Street. I can't speak on it just yet, but there is some movement going on with that project.
Okay.
Another thing that was brought up to me by a couple people were, why can't we turn the ambulance part of the fire department just be ambulance drivers, not have to have a certification to be firefighter? Why can't we turn it into an ambulance service? Volunteers or just ambulance drivers?
I believe that comes to.
Get back to having an ambulance service in town again instead of just.
Instead of a combined unit? I mean, I don't have an answer for you on that, but it's a good question. But the bottom line is we have got to find some way to mitigate this. And I'm not convinced that they have to work with 6 because the contract says they can work with 5.
I mean, if other towns can do it, why can't we? Working on 5. Gallion's doing it, but Gallion's similar in population. Maybe they have 1,000 less people.
Here's what Article 20 says, minimum staffing. In an effort to provide for the safety of the firefighters and the citizens of the city of Bucyrus, there shall be a minimum of 5 bargaining unit members on shift at all times. Doesn't say anything about not having more than 5 means that we're putting the city at major liability. It doesn't say that everybody's unsafe, and like I said, 150 hours of double time. That means you had more than 6 guys out of 8,760 hours. We're a relatively safe city. So they need to be working with 5. 6 on a normal shift, I don't have a problem with that. We don't need to be paying overtime to keep 6. We'll pay overtime to keep 5 if we have to, because one guy's sick and one guy's on vacation. I understand, things happen. But this constant, let's just pay overtime for vacation days immediately, that's the problem. And that's the only way we can fix it. All right, that's gonna stay on the table. I'm not done with that conversation, so. Anybody got anything else? If not, we're gonna be looking to adjourn.
Hold on, you got public participation.
Oh, yep, public
Well-
participation.
I'll give an update on 1308 Fremont on my end.
Okay, sorry, Greg, let him finish.
1308 Fremont, the fire chief did declare it a fire hazard, and 30-day notice started ticking. I've got it in my calendar, I don't remember the exact date.
Okay.
Once that expires, we'll be able to apply to take it and knock it down.
Awesome.
Now, how does that work when I had a property in my neighborhood that they posted their little notice on for 15 years?
Well, there's a difference between something being a nuisance declared dangerous building violation and actually being designated as a fire hazard by the fire department. Two similar but separate things. The fact that it's a fire hazard means that after that 30 days, we can just take it back.
And the city has to find the funds to.
Luckily, I weaseled some funding to knock some houses down out of the last budget negotiations. So we're good to go.
Anything else? Citizen participation.
Greg Wyatt, 1125 Hillcrest Drive. For the last 2 years, I've brought up the food trucks. I even brought documentation to council. Jim Mee knows it, Chris Moritz knows it, that I brought documentation. This is a very simple fix. It's not complicated or anything like that. And going to the other thing too about the prevention code, the fire code, it's basically what it's called. All this committee has to do is make basically one ordinance or a resolution or whatever you want to do to adopt the Ohio Fire Code as is, and any updates that come about within the code at any given time in the future, then the fire department is covered on any updates or anything like that. Matter of fact, I'm going to Lima here next week for the updates.
So,
But
my
it's-
question would be on something like that, just as a general, yeah, we're gonna be up to date with the state fire codes. How do you ensure that the fire chief is keeping track of the state's updates? How does that happen?
Well, actually, the fire chief is responsible to make sure that anybody that works for the city fire department that are inspectors meet their, continuing education and are updated on how to attend, because this is a mandatory update for every certified fire safety inspector in the state of Ohio. That's what I have to go for. Okay, so it's mandatory. You have to get it before you get your card renewed this year.
When did this start, Brandon? When did this first come to the city council?
2020.
December?
Oh, way before that.
2023?
October 24.
Yeah, something, 24?
This new fire prevention code update?
Oh, no, that's been in the,
Oh, I thought he was talking about fire prevention code.
Either one. Food trucks was 2023. The prevention code has been in a certain ordinance for years and years and years.
The update
The
is.
update, when did that need renewed? When did we first know about that? December?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's basically.
Yeah, there's
simple
nothing
fix.
wrong with that.
No, there's nothing wrong. It's a simple fix.
Okay.
You just adopt the fire code as is, and then you put in there any time in the future that it is updated by the state.
Yeah.
You're covered. You don't have to come back and redo that thing every year. There's
Gotcha.
no reason for that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Greg.
I got something on that statement.
Go ahead.
Is the fire department for the Bratwurst Festival using the current fire codes to inspect food trucks during the festival?
I have no idea.
I mean, what else? They have to use those codes since the new ones aren't.
I've seen some of those food trailers. There's no way they can even come up with fire code.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not an expert on that. No clue.
I'll say that.
I know
question.
that all the food trucks get inspected in Fostoria, right? That's the extent of my knowledge
Okay.
of.
So we're gonna wait on the, we're gonna wait on, we're gonna wait on Chief Swimley for those two items.
Okay. There are only certain certified agencies that do food truck inspections, okay? So they do them once a year, just like up in Lucas County, Wood County, and they have a huge Columber.
Yep.
They do food trucks in a huge indoor facility that spans over 3 days' time with the health departments, everybody, and they do it at all one shot. They issue a certificate to that food truck at that given time that they are certified by the health departments in those counties, okay, and certified under the state fire code at that time. Now, at any time down the road, they can be re-inspected at any time by any jurisdiction authority to make sure they're in compliance. Okay, that. In the last 2 years, there has been very little inspections done of the food trucks for the Bratwurst Festival. I have pictures of everything.
So what legislation are we waiting for?
Well, that food truck legislation, and I think if I went back to some of the videos from former council meetings, okay, Vicky DeShawn kept asking for the food truck ordinance, the food truck ordinance, the food truck ordinance, the food truck ordinance for months and months and months.
Gotcha.
But she never got, nothing was responded. Or whatever's on the tapes, I could go back and play them and figure it out. But for months and months, she asked for that. But like I said, Cody's correct. I have pictures, I have all the documentations, because I even brought that to council before, that they weren't properly doing inspections.
Gotcha.
Even though I got a letter from the fire chief through Tommy Starner stating that they inspected everything. But when I asked for the inspection sheets, I got zip.
Interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. All right, with that, I will call Health and Safety adjourned at 8:25.
Committee?
Finance Committee will come to order at 8:27. James Mead Chair, Terry Spiegel, Ray Thidoff, Robert Taylor. Before you have your minutes from February 5th and the Special Finance Committee meeting minutes from January 26th. January 22nd, 2026. Do I hear a motion?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to accept those collectively.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Terry?
Got to vote.
Robert?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Ray?
Yep.
And I'm a yes. Pass. First up, we got Arcadia Service Committee. This is a sponsoring committee. Randy, you want to take it from here?
Sure. So, finance is only supposed to take this over when it's time to give Arcadis money. Because we already because we're caught between the Ohio EPA and the US EPA, we're just entering into a contract to do it. We'll pay them later. When that happens, it's got to go to finance for legislation to pay them. It should have come out of service for the legislation to actually enter into the agreement.
Gotcha.
Right,
So
Kaylee?
we're premature on having Arcadius on this.
Correct.
agenda.
Correct.
Okay.
So now we have to have a special meeting and a special committee meeting and a special council meeting next week.
Okay, everybody got that clear
Yes,
as
sir.
mud, right?
Clear as mud.
Appreciate appropriations for the K-9 donations.
If you look at the first paper that I gave you, because of the fundraiser that was given a couple weeks ago and an individual donating $5,000 to the K-9, we have $21,500 in K-9 donation funds. So we just want to bring those on to the line so they can be used. So under Fund 101, Program 1, Security of Persons and Property, and Program 7110, Police Department, and item line 25, Capital Outlay, we want to increase that line by $21,500.
Just for clarification, you're increasing the 41,600.
No, so that will be the new number.
That will be the new number.
So just in case you guys are curious, these numbers I have on the end, they reflect what, if I add this money, all the originating budget ordinance would change to.
Okay. Got that? Yep. Everybody's clear on that? So I need a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to accept these donations
As an emergency.
as an emergency.
Yes, I'll second that.
Taylor's first,
Yeah.
Taylor made the motion, Terry seconded it. Terry, or
Yes.
Taylor, Terry,
Yes.
Ray?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Passes. Next up on the list. What is this? What's the other one, the government? Okay,
That's different, isn't it?
The internet auction gov deals.
Okay, this is the gov deals?
No, that's later down the
actual
line.
resolution, I believe.
Okay,
When you get to code enforcement funds, I'll chime in again.
all right. Appropriations, internet gov deals. So everybody understands what this is. So Tommy can go on the internet and sell some stuff.
This is resolution 244-2024, correct?
Tommy?
Yes.
That's what it says here in the packet. I just want to make sure I'm reading the right thing here.
Yeah, I think so. I don't have
Okay.
Okay, I need a motion to let Tommy do this.
So moved.
Taylor?
And that is a 2-year agreement, right?
Is it a 2-year agreement? Check it first.
Was the first time.
Do you need this as an emergency?
It does say it on here in 2024 anyway, that it was an emergency.
Yeah.
You do?
We've got something for sale right now. We need it as an emergency.
Yeah, he would like it as an
Okay.
emergency. We'll figure this out. Come on. You good?
I was looking to see the time frame for 2
Oh, it
years.
should be up in the top.
Yeah.
What's the top say? Just tell me what's the time frame.
January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2025. Declared an emergency.
So it's only for a year.
Yeah, we gotta do it every year.
Oh, I thought you said it was 2 years.
He was asking for 2 years.
Oh,
I was
gotcha.
clarifying it.
Gotcha.
So Brandon, he can only do it for 1 year at a time, correct?
That's my understanding.
Sorry, Tommy.
All right.
I knew you would. Need a. Okay, you made a motion for emergency, correct?
Correct.
On gov deals.
Yep,
Terry, did you second that?
I did.
Ray? Or
Yes.
Rob? Terry? Ray?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Passes. Future plans for the solid waste. It's.
I think I table that until we.
Yeah, it's not my turn yet,
Right.
or our turn. This code enforcement funds. You want to talk about that?
Sure. So I know this is something that Mr. Taylor had brought up previously and wanting to make these reductions. So he and I were able to get together and just come up with some numbers so we could put them in front of you. So if you guys want to discuss both the code enforcement and the reappropriation of fire funds, I will read through this and then you guys can have your discussion if that helps.
Yes.
So the reduction of appropriations for the purpose of decreasing expenditures.
under Fund 101 Program 7 General Government, Department 7781 General Government, and 21 Personal Services. It would be decreasing that by $13,000, and that would be code enforcement. And then in Fund 202 Safety Forces Levy, Department 7115 Fire Department, and item line 21 Personal Services, decreasing that by $120,000.
And just for some clarity for the law director, the code enforcement department actually had what, like $30,000 in their account?
Yes, we didn't include the demolition.
Right, and that money will stay.
In demolition.
It's gonna stay there for your use of tearing down.
Sounds awesome.
Am I correct in that? That's what that's
Yep,
for?
that won't move.
And then as far as the 120,000 coming out of the, moving out of the fire department fund, look, that's the only recourse we have to even remotely get them to quit abusing the overtime, then that's what needs to happen. And I do fully expect the fire chief to stay within his budget. I expect the mayor and the service director to enforce this. I honestly can't believe as an adult that's lived on his own for 30 years that I have to have this conversation with government. So I would like to make a motion to reduce Fund 101, Code Enforcement Fund by $13,000. That essentially covers the payroll for that one department's employee. We will not have the money to rehire him this year. I would like to entertain a motion for that.
So moved.
Ray made the motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
Terry seconded. Ray?
Yes.
Terry?
Yeah, let's discuss this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought we just did.
Yeah, he has to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, so I'm thinking I'm in health and safety. Sorry, Jim.
I did it Tuesday night, or that's it.
Let's discuss this.
All right, let's talk about
Okay,
it.
so we haven't understood how to disperse his job yet. I mean, you are working on that, right?
Well, yeah, I still don't see how we could justify hiring him back, no matter what his job duties are. I don't understand how we can justify spending the money. He needs cop cars, he needs a cop. All the rates are going up for everybody in the city.
But don't you think we should find
mean,
out how to disperse his responsibilities?
I don't, because 9 months.
We're just gonna cut him?
9 months out of the year, Jim, he's not even working to do his job. So what are we doing the other 9 months? Or whatever the summer months are that he works?
I think we're putting the cart in front of the horse, though.
I think we already put the cart in front of the horse by hiring a guy and not having him doing the job full time. We've been spending, like, again, how many months out of the year does he not do, is he not employed by us?
Okay. Do we have a
I would like to
motion?
point out that Gordon Groves is a fine employee.
Yeah, I don't think he does
It's-
a bad job. I don't know, I'm not saying anything about him personally.
It's not that, but.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that's clear to everybody.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I
He's a
agree with
model
you.
employee. I
Yeah,
have no
problem with
complaints
him.
about
I
his
don't even
work.
know him.
I agree with you, but we have to do something.
Okay. Ray, you made the motion?
I did.
Ray made the motion. Terry seconded it?
Yep.
Yes?
Yes, I did.
Ray?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Robert?
Yes, sir.
I knew that coming. I'll say yes. But it's not gonna make any difference. Okay, now you had, safety forces, fire department, 120,000.
Yes.
So the safety forces levy, you want to take 100,000, 120,000 out of the fire department? Need a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Ray?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
And I'm a yes.
And can I ask for clarification when I send these to Alyssa? We're asking for 2 separate pieces of legislation, so they can
Yes.
be voted on individually?
Separately.
Okay.
What's next? Wage reduction of elected officials.
You want me to talk about that since it was my referral?
Yep. You the man.
Well, I'm just gonna be blunt and direct, and I don't mean to offend anybody, but if it offends you, I apologize in advance. I can say, at least as a taxpayer, that not just the past couple years, the past 4 years, probably the past decade or so, locally, citizens of Bucyrus have not gotten the bang for their buck from their elected officials. I mean, and I can go through the list of infractions, I see as infractions. We've got sewer lines out in Sugar Grove now that we can't afford to take care of. All the nonsense we dealt with from last council that the whole community dealt with, it was all turned into a soap opera. Quite often, we don't, I mean, the years I've been coming up here, I very rarely see the treasurer. I didn't even know who it was. I think it's different with the new treasurer. Again, nothing personal with anyone, but the mayor, oftentimes, I think the way the things are set up for mayors in these small towns, you end up with somebody who's retired or a business owner, and we pay him a full-time wage with insurance. And I think that's an area there we can begin to cut money. Law director, nothing personal, but I think we can cut money there. City council, council president, I think our wages need cut. And I've got some numbers here that I ran through my head. I'll throw them out there. We don't have to agree. What I would like to see the mayor's pay go down to, and obviously none of this can ever be enacted this term. It has to be for the next term. That pay there should be about $30,000 with no insurance. That saves the city $26,000 a year. Council and president, currently it's $6,813 a year. At 10%, $681 each, you're looking at $4,248 for the whole year. Law director, if we took 10% off of that wage for next term, you're looking at still a $96,000 a year paycheck. That saves us $10,600. Treasurer, take 10% off of that wage, it's $964. All in all, with just those elected officials, you're looking at that rate cut, you're looking at $60,000 a year. In 2 years, that's $120,000. In 4 years, that's $250,000. You could put a down payment on an ambulance or a fire truck or buy a police vehicle or a contract buyout. Just like everything else I've been saying, there's ways to get there. And it's little by little in every little area. The only elected official I did not include in this was Kaylee, because I just know how much work I put her through in just the few short months I've been here. I don't think that we need to touch her pay because I do know how much work she does. Everybody else, again, don't take it personal. If you do, that's your problem, not mine. I think that the past councils and the past administrations and the past law directors have not lived up to par. And unfortunately, sometimes you have to pay for the sins of your father. And I think that's where we're at.
Anybody else? Any other council? Nobody else has any comment on it?
Can I add something really quick?
Yes,
One
ma'am.
thing I would want to, Brandon, you might want to look into. I don't know as a non-charter, as a statutory city, if we can do a part-time mayor.
I don't think so. We would have to be a charter city for that.
Well, I didn't say about cutting his hours. I said cut his pay.
Yeah, but the benefits, if he was still considered full-time, he would be entitled to benefits.
Okay.
So what, talking about cutting, how much was you cutting?
$26,000.
No, I mean total.
Total?
20%, 30%?
10%. Well, the mayor's was, that pay there was more like 45%. Council
You're cutting
president.
everybody's differently?
Yeah, by according to what I feel like the job performance has been in the past couple years, decades. And again, I don't think the mayor's job should be a full-time job. Definitely shouldn't be full-time pay with benefits. My opinion. Now, apparently the state of Ohio says different, but not from what I saw. I mean, from what I saw, the state of Ohio says you can,
He
legislator.
takes a lot of crap. I mean, every time we screw up, he takes it. Every time the police department screws up,
Okay, but he
takes it.
sat here and admitted
Every
he-
time the fire department screws up, he
Mhm.
takes it. Service department screws up, he takes it.
And I fix it.
Understandable.
Go ahead.
And I fix it.
Yeah.
And
But you're not the young guy on the end of the phone call saying, hey, I hear the buck stops with you, Mayor, and damn it, you better get this shit straightened out. And I know he's heard that for the last 2 years.
Right.
He's not the guy that caused the problems. He's the guy that.
Well, he ain't fixing
I'm saying that we're a team up
He can't
here.
fix us. We are elected official. He's not over us. He's not our boss.
Jim, what I'm saying is we're a team up here, and this isn't
Jim.
very team-like.
What's that?
We're a team up here is what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll take a 45% pay cut too for city council. I don't care. Yeah, let's do 50% for everybody then. Outstanding. That's even more money. Except for the auditor. I know how much work she does.
I'll entertain a motion. That's my job.
I'll make that motion, 50% pay cut for every elected official except for the auditor.
Taylor made the motion. Is there a second? Hearing no second, the motion dies in committee. Is there any open projects?
What's 450 Dudley?
That should be off there. That is a private matter.
I was wondering why it was on finance. So that can.
That was already voted to be removed.
Yeah. Could you remove that for us, please?
That was easy.
Yeah, that's taken care of.
Creation of a consumer trust fund for utilities. Tabled until Auditor Lewis has more information from the state auditor. You have any comment on that?
Can you repeat it again? I apologize.
Creation of consumer trust fund for utilities.
Oh, yes, that can be removed.
Okay. Uh, 2000, ERU stormwater fees. Stormwater fees, that ain't us, right?
No, that's service.
That's service. So, you take that off too, please.
Can we skip down to the annexation of the Crawford County Recycling Center?
That
What's
stays.
Excuse me?
That one stays.
Well, I was just gonna get an update.
You got an update on that for us?
Which one?
The recycling center. Anything change?
Discussion's ongoing.
So it just stays?
Yeah.
Cyrus Tourism, that stays. Acadia City. Okay, if there's nothing else,
Well, the last one can probably be removed then, can it, since motion died?
yeah. Wage reduction of elected officials. Got it? So, open projects, citizens participation. No, you can't come up. I was just kidding.
Oh, man, oh, man.
Troublemaker.
Kurt Fankhauser, 1415 Michigan Drive. As far as the pay on the elected officials, I do not believe that can be adjusted in the middle of their term. It would be the next council term, and that legislation would have to be passed prior to the, like, primary filing deadline, which is a little less than a year away. However, there is one elected official's pay that comes from two lines because they are an elected official and also an assistant prosecutor on the manpower. So you could change the assistant prosecutor pay midterm because that's not considered.
Yeah, then somebody's got to take on the prosecution.
Now I think you might want to consider separating that because it's combined into one person right now and
Again, I get to
potentially-
make that decision, not council.
Okay, what Mr. Gobrick just stated is false. He doesn't know that council has the power to separate the position because by statute, it's not combined in the first place.
According to
and-
Matt Kroll, Mr. Gobrick is correct. I've had that conversation just last.
Statute's very simple. By default, unless I
Why-
decide
there's
otherwise.
an ordinance
Alright,
that
that's
it was
enough.
combined.
Yeah, I had that.
Matt Kroll said no, that's the end of it. Anything
Well,
else?
I'm gonna do some research on that later. Other thing, you know, while we're talking about pay and stuff, did you guys pass a new manpower to coincide with the recent ASME raises, or is that slated to be done? Because usually that happens immediately after the ASME raises.
We have not that I know of.
No.
So.
We didn't even vote to pass the last contract, if you remember.
So the AFSCME, historically, for like the last, you know, at least 10, 20 years here, every time that the AFSCME gets a raise, immediately after, you know, and I'm assuming the AFSCME went into effect because the 30-day window ran out where council could have.
I think that's probably a safe assumption. but I
Okay,
don't know.
so then my question here is the finance committee, to your knowledge, working on introducing that as legislation at the next meeting and waiving of the rules? Because I've been noticing a lot of waiving of the rules with
Finance
this.
is always waiving of the rules. And
Well, in the middle of the council meetings, they're waiving the rules and bringing up legislation nobody even knew was being worked on.
Yeah,
He knows that.
I have not seen anything about increased wages for non-union employees.
Okay, so if that was to be introduced at the next council meeting, I mean, at what point does the city enact a pay freeze here and say
Well,
enough is enough?
Part of that problem, Kurt, the only people we could act a pay freeze on is the non-union employees. The unions already have contracts in place, their legal documentation. Now, apparently, some of that you don't have to enforce, as we can see, but that, I guess that's different. But as far as the money goes, we don't have any, we can't do anything there because they've already agreed to a certain percentage increase every year.
So when these next union contracts come up, are you considering
Well,
freezing?
did you pay attention to the last contract they asked us to vote on?
I think they got a 1.5% raise.
Did you see any of us vote yes for it?
I didn't see anybody vote no
Okay,
for it, which
because
means
we
it
don't-
automatically went into
We don't
effect.
want to go, we don't want to.
I take that back. Terry's right. I did see Terry vote no
We don't
on it.
want to go to arbitration.
I entertain a motion to reject.
And it wasn't seconded, which means that 6 members were okay with it going into
Okay, well, you
effect.
can word it that way if you would like. That's not what happened. That is not what happened. 6 members didn't want no part of it because 6 members didn't have any say in the negotiation, just like what Chris brought up earlier. It's a rubber stamp. What good's a rubber stamp? That's all that is. We don't have any say in it. I'd rather not.
You statutorily have an opportunity to reject it.
And which can and most likely would cost the city more money. You know this. I don't know if you're trying to use political points here and some kind of, but let's just be direct and honest and blunt about what we know and what we don't know, Kurt.
Mr. Chair?
Did you get a 1.5 raise in your private capacity last year?
Stop.
Order of the day.
We have the order of the day. Is there any more, is there into this or not? Because I got stuff to do here, so,
I can end it.
all right. It's not going anywhere. You gotta
I
just-
can quite see that.
It's, you're butting
I can
heads.
quite see that. Well, one other thing. While we're talking about the pay for everybody, okay? Can somebody explain to me, and this is nothing personal against this individual, but why, and if you look at the responsibilities of the sheriff, he makes $60,000 a year, but our police chief makes over $100,000 a year. Why is our police chief making so much more than the county sheriff?
I don't know, that's something you'll have to take up with the county. Is that it?
Look into that.
Thank you. All right, I don't want to have to whoop your butt, okay? Citizen participation, nobody else? You know I was kidding, right?
I don't think he was kidding.
Amen.
He threatened to shoot my pinky toe off earlier.
Could we get some revenue off of that if we sold
Allegedly.
tickets?
Yeah.
Could we
Hey,
make some
Jim,
revenue
before you
off
do
that?
the adjournment, the legislation you requested wasn't, for gov deals, wasn't retroactive to January 1st. It needs to be retroactive to January 1st.
What? What is that for?
Did you sell something?
Gov deals,
Early on?
it needed to be retroactive to January 1st.
We have?
Yes.
Oh, hey, that's why.
Okay, Terry made the motion, right?
God.
Or Taylor made the motion?
For what?
No, there are no
Gov
motions.
deals.
You killed my motion, Jim.
Gov deals.
Oh, yeah, I did, okay, sorry.
Who seconded it?
You want me to remake it?
Would you please?
I second.
Well, you have to,
I would like to remake my motion for Tommy to do gov deals retroactive to January 1st, 2025.
Yes.
And I'll second his amendment to that motion.
26, I'm sorry, 2026.
Six.
Is that what you did? Amended?
Amend it to January 1st, 2026.
Yes.
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Ray?
Yes?
I'm a yes.
As an emergency one.
As an emergency.
Yes.
Retroactive to
Absolutely.
January
Yep.
1st, 2026. That passes.
Again.
Okay, again, yeah. Again and amended. Meeting adjourned at 9 o'clock.